It's Sunday, and we are live in sunny Los Angeles to wrap up Week 3 of Stage 3 in our 2019 Overwatch League season. It all starts with our match of the week, the rematch. The Chengdu Hunters will take on the Dallas Fuel for round 2 in just about 30 minutes. The Hunters dropped another tough match against the first-place Vancouver Titans earlier this week, but the Hunters hope to bounce back against the Dallas squad they beat quite handily last week. And the Fuel, well, they find themselves falling in the standings with each day. They'll try to stop that tailspin in 30 minutes from now. Welcome inside the Blizz Arena. This is your Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, joined by a very special desk today. We've got Sideshow at the end, and then the dynamic casting duo. We got the Bob Ross of miniature painting, Mr. Doa, and of course, the king of kimonos, Master Monty. How are we, gentlemen?
That's what they call me now.
Emperor of kimonos, I believe the proper term is.
Sorry.
That's probably the proper
I got that wrong. I'll pay you later. Apologies.
Don't worry, this is just practice right now. Oh.
Oh.
We're live.
You already messed up.
And we're going to have a great show. Going to have a great show. We're closing out the week strong here on Watchpoint. The Vancouver Titans became the first team to clinch a top 12 playoff berth on Friday night. Today, Bumper and friends will try to move to 20-0. Plus, Jake and Muma from the Houston Outlaws tell us how they recovered from a winless Stage 2 to set their sights onto the season-long playoffs. And it's Sunday when we relive the best moments that had the emotes flying in the chat. It's Week 3 edition of Emote Control. We got a great slate of matches coming today, culminating with the red-hot LA Valiant taking on the undefeated Vancouver Titans. Before that, you'll see Houston battle Florida and Boston squaring off with the Paris Eternal. But it all starts with our match of the week. That, of course, is the Chengdu Hunters going up against the Dallas Fuel. Chengdu has pushed the boundaries of the meta all season with their unorthodox compositions, but so far, it's only amounted to 7 total wins. The Dallas Fuel have 10 wins, but they've lost 4 of their last 5, including one to the Hunters last week. So how important is this match for Dallas today, Sideshow?
It's insanely important. I would say that this is a must-win. Not to get them into its Stage 3 playoffs or anything like that. That ship has long sailed. It's about their overall season. They need to make it into 12th place to be able to hit the play-ins. Look at their Stage 4 schedule. That is ridiculous. They play against a Spitfire, an improved Valiant, Gladiator, Shock, Spark.
Ouch.
These are all games they would be expected to lose in their current form.
I mean, you say the ship has sailed on Stage 3. I'm looking at this and saying the ship has sailed on the season.
Maybe
because of that schedule in Stage 4.
They
There's always the
absolutely
biggest
need
ship.
to win this game, and they failed previously, and they need to adapt more quickly. The compositions they were running in that first match against the Chengdu Hunters, I think, were fairly poor. They just didn't really make sense, but they are making changes today. This is a new starting lineup for them.
Is that Harry?
I don't really know
It's
what
Harry
to
Hook.
expect.
He's back.
I love it.
Hook, give us a hook. The thing is, guys, if Dallas lose this match today, they will be 500 on the season. They will be 10-10. They will lose their winning record. They will be in great danger of having a losing record at the end of the season. So I was excited about these guys. They start out strong this year. It's not working out, but I think one thing you have to think about when you talk about the Dallas Fuel is their tank line and how that main tank position has been changing and changing and changing. It is a merry-go-round of tanks. Look at this. We're in the 7th overall stage of the Overwatch League total, and since the Overwatch League began last year, they are on their 6th main tank. Look, OG, Coco, Mickey, XQC, Taimu, Trill now starting a little bit earlier this week. So when will this team finally settle on a regular main tank? On top of that all, check out this tweet for a second. Now, OG in this tweet that we're about to see, I promise, there it is. OG may have been joking here. We don't know how serious this is, but he agreed with our own Johnny Reinforced Larson that he needed to take a little bit of a break. Now we see Trill starting, so I think a lot of fans, and a lot of people watching the Dallas Fuel, me included, thought OG was maybe the answer to a long-term tank. Now Trill is in the lineup. What does this mean for the future of this team?
He looked incredible at the Dallas homestand, but
He did.
Monty, we know that having a reliable tank is definitely an issue for Dallas right now, but so is preparing for a Chengdu team for anyone in this league, right?
Yeah, first off, I want to just say, as far as Dallas is concerned, I wouldn't go the Hook strat. I would go the Rufio and the Lost Boys strat and start bringing in your Lost Boys of Mickey and Time.
You don't like Dustin Hoffman? Come on.
Jokes aside, about the Chengdu Hunters, I think they were ahead of the curve on a lot of their damage compositions. You talk about having an unclear role at main tank. Well, they made it work with aiming at 55.8% of the time on the Wrecking Ball. And I think that it's not so much that teams are directly copying the Chengdu Hunters DPS strategies, because we've seen a lot of different DPS heroes used, and not all the time with Wrecking Ball. But I do think teams like the Hunters and the Shanghai Dragons, especially when the Shanghai Dragons made the stage playoffs on the back of running Sombra Goats, these are teams that I think were sort of the gurus for the league, showing them that there's a different way to live your life, right? That is
There's a better way to play.
3-3. They're the shamans of the Overwatch League.
They really are.
Well, Dallas and Chengdu need to start stacking wins if they want to stay ahead of teams like, well, of course, we got the surging Los Angeles Valiant, and today we can get a chance to see the Valiant once again. LA has won 3 in a row. In 4 of their last 5, they faced the best team in the league today, the undefeated Vancouver Titans, who are going for their 20th win in the regular season. The Valiant are still working their way back from a winless Stage 1, but could they ride the momentum and threaten the Titans to their win streak today, Josh?
I think there is a distinct possibility that this is the first upset in the regular season that the Titans are dealt. They're not going to be prepared for the Valiant, and also I think that this is the weakest we've seen the Titans in this current meta.
Really?
The way that they're utilizing Sombra and DPS compositions, I don't think Sominsu is the player that's going to be able to provide that kind of power. Compared over to Shax from the LA Valiant, who we haven't seen too much of, the stats look good. But Sominsu is on the best team in the league. Of course his stats are going to look good, but when you look at him and how he plays, he looks incredibly uncomfortable on Sombra. And on DPS heroes as well, when they matched up against Chengdu, that didn't look great. On the other side, the LA Valiant have actually looked very impressive with their DPS strats. You wouldn't really think that KSF and Agilities would be able to go toe-to-toe with Ding and DM, but they dealt the Shanghai Dragons losses every time they matched toe-to-toe. I think they might have a chance of doing it again here against the Valley. Against Vancouver, sorry.
I definitely agree with you, especially because, you know, as we talk about Chengdu, it was close up until Chengdu chung through with that Symmetra strat on Havana, right?
It was a chung throw.
But I think if you look at actually the way that if they do bench Space again, if Space isn't in the starting lineup, but the Valiant are running multiple DPS compositions, then how are they going to beat it? They're going to beat it with Winston 3-3 or with the Sombra with the Winston. And they have looked, I think Titans have looked weaker playing these kind of compositions. As you can see, 50% playing Winston 3-3, 51% playing Sombra teamfight win rates this season. Now, that isn't to say that the Vancouver Titans aren't a big favorite in this matchup. We're talking about what is the best team in the league right now, the Titans. And so, but is there an upset potential? I definitely agree that's probably higher than most people think.
Yeah, well, maybe. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the Vancouver Titans have always found a way to clutch it out, right? No matter how close they seem to be losing. You know, you might say Chengdu, chung through, whatever like that, but no. No, man, it's the bumper Hanzo. It's all the crazy stuff that these guys can pull out at the last minute. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter what the match looks like. They always clutch, and if the Valiant manage to bring it close today, Vancouver will clutch again. I have no lack of confidence about that.
I like that. Either the Valiant or the Titans will keep a win streak rolling, much like the Houston Outlaws hope to today. When we come back, Jake and Muma tell us how they recovered from a winless Stage 2 and why people better keep their eyes on the Outlaws from here on out. This is the Watchpoint Pre-Show, presented by State Farm. The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. The grand finals are coming to Philadelphia's Wells Fargo Center on September 29th. So head on over to OverwatchLeague.com to get your tickets right now for the biggest Overwatch event in the world this year. Just a few weeks ago, most would have counted the Houston Outlaws out from having a chance to be in Philadelphia for the grand finals. Now, they've clawed their way back within just a couple of matches of our 12th and final playoff spot. Outlaw stars Jake and Muma admit it's been a tough season, but it's far from over for Houston.
It will be an 0-7 stage for the Houston Outlaws.
The Houston Outlaws have become the 4th team to conclude a stage without a win in the Overwatch League.
If you go 0-7, it's usually because there's more than one thing wrong. We ended up changing our roster a few times throughout the stage and changing our strategy a few times throughout the stage. It's just a necessary thing as a team sometimes to make mistakes and to find out what is working for you. We just weren't quick enough to find the right thing, and it cost us.
Going onto Twitter after the games and seeing the feedback, not only from the fans, but just from also the haters.
Outlaws are not going to win a game in stage 2.
I heard that one before.
As much as I want to win, I know our fans want to see us win too, and knowing the fans would be let down too was it hurt as well.
The Houston Outlaws, you got a break. You got some time to rework things, so look forward to stage 3 at this point.
I think for most teams it could have been a lot worse and could have snowballed into something worse, but for us it was more of a wake-up call, and I think we all used the break really productively to turn things around. Over the break, I would say, from my perspective, I actually took it as a really deep learning experience. I haven't failed as bad as going 0-7. That's one of the bigger failures of my life, I would say. It kind of changed my mindset to be more about process and less about the outcome.
There's a big shatter! Oh, they did it again! Hack the world!
I went home to visit my family. I took the longest break I've ever had away from a PC, and when I was able to come back to LA, my head was a lot more in the game.
This is the Outlaws' day. The Houston Outlaws defeat the San Francisco Shock.
We learned the hard way last season that map differential always matters. So I think being in the hole right now, it shows that it's time to be cleaner than we've ever been before, better than we've ever been before.
Jake again finds the angle.
My message to the Outlaw haters is keep doing what you're doing. It's not working very well.
They are the story of stage 3 for me now.
Outlaws look like a whole new team.
Just keep hating because I like being the underdog. I don't mind all the haters. I think it just powers us more. So please do it.
Keep the hate coming. Houston broke the Shock's 11-match win streak in week 2. As with any team that's winning, their team fight win rate is up and their first death rate is down from previous stages. And through just 4 matches, they've already matched their point total from all of stage 2. The Outlaws bring their 3-match win streak up against the Florida Mayhem today. Florida has just 1 win this season and are now behind the Shanghai Dragons in franchise wins. Houston needs definitive wins for their map count. So how have the Outlaws gotten so hot, Mr. Doa?
Hashtag Funny was right.
It's funny you ask, Chris Parkett. It's also funny that Monty's on the desk for this, but I'm the one talking now. That's right, I'm the desk captain now. But anyway, let's take a look at some interesting graphics. So let's take a look at stage 1 and 2 hero usage. Looks a lot like a composition you might know as a 3-3. 3 tanks, 3 supports. It's pretty run-of-the-mill. Not a lot of success though. 37.4% team win rate on that. Now, oh my gosh, stage 3. Who's the most played hero? It's Sombra. And look down the bottom, we've got Wrecking Ball, we've got Pharah, a little bit of Mercy in there because of the Pharah, Ana jumping up there. And so, the Outlaws, I don't know, I may have heard someone predict before, if they change to playing the heroes that their players seem to be best at playing, they will begin to win games. And what do you know? They have things looking a lot better for those guys.
I love it.
There you go.
I love it.
You do love it, don't you?
I do. Well, there's nothing I love more than being right, Doa. So
that is true.
I know it happens all the time, so you think I'd be tired of it by now, but I'm just not. I'm just not. Let's actually talk about some of what they've done well, and I think Jake on Pharah actually has been exceptional. I think he's playing at a level on these projectile heroes, particularly the Pharah, that we really haven't seen from him before. We saw some good Junkrat play, but his accuracy has been so good on this hero. He's getting really good value out of his barrages a lot of time. Perfectly timed right there, picking up some of those eliminations against NYXL. And I think he's playing some of the best Overwatch he's ever played before, so it's really exciting, I think, to watch him play right now.
And you take a look at that hero usage chart, and number 1 is Sombra. And I don't think anyone would deny that that's the main thing that's pushing the Houston Outlaws towards success. And the guy behind that is Dante, who now we have to kind of start asking the question, is Dante the best Sombra in the world right now? It sounds kind of crazy to consider when there's so many other fantastic players, but there's actually only 5 players that have played it in the league over 200 minutes. Ding kind of being the first person to, I would say, master that kind of role. BQB was excellent in the past, but on the Florida Mayhem, I think Dante's a forerunner for best Sombra in the world right now.
I know it sounds ridiculous to kind of just put that out there, but I tend to agree, because if we look at the Sombras on the top teams, it's not Sominsu, it's not really Sinatra, right?
Sabiolbi.
It's not Sabiolbi, or
Rascal's not playing it anymore.
Yeah, Rascal's not playing. So he really does, I think, have a legitimate argument at that crown right now.
It's all Dante right now. The Outlaws Stage 3 highlight reel is growing, and so is our Week 3 highlight reel. Boops, bloopers, and battle mercies. We've got it all coming up in this week's edition of Emote Control. That's next on the Watchpoint Pre-Show, presented by State Farm. The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Here at Evo with a 3K, takes out Closer, turns around with a blaster. Goodbye, Zachary, to the melee. And why not another DPS to add to his collection with AK?
See the Valiant just trying to retreat indoors to stay away from all this pressure that Hoppa is applying.
Hoppa has the barrage, and he goes for it!
And triple kill instantly, make it 5 really, as space is taken out of that mech board. Already very close. Now he has that Graviton Surge. They're getting a grab first, so Spark getting aggressive here. Can they get the kills out of it? No. Grab gets used by Corey as well. Sans himself just gets 3. Amazing move comes in from Justice Arc, setting it up for the 3K off that self-destruct.
No supports here for Toronto Defiant. Charge coming up from beyond, but will be able to take down Mendoza. Turns around, he gets a shatter!
Welcome back!
Oh man, welcome back indeed! Might have just single-handedly turned that one around, and he has!
It's a dead eye. All right, everybody just backs around the corner. That's going to pave the way. Oh, they can't!
Oh, the flashbang!
Oh, no, the
huge flashbang!
That flashbang hit like 3 people. All right, this round is weird, but the Hunters are going to be able to take the point back, and they are 99% already OG.
As we enter the second half of Stage 3, the Boston Uprising and the Paris Eternal really need to start thinking about the overall season playoffs. Paris currently sits in 12th, while Boston is in 15th. The Uprising are still looking for their first win of Stage 3, so who is this match more important for right now, Doa?
I mean, no doubt in my mind, this match is a lot bigger for Paris than it is for Boston. I mean, Paris is on the verge of, potentially having their first winning record stage, which would be huge considering this is a team that a lot of people were pretty high on coming into the season. You can see 3 and 4 in Stage 1, 2 and 5 in Stage 2, but now 3 and 2 so far. And I think they've got a pretty good shot, right? They've got Boston coming up today, and then they've got Seoul next week. So they got a chance.
Here we go, Boston. Boston is struggling right now, Monty. So what's the main reason for their 6-match losing streak? We got to talk about the Uprising. Something is going wrong here.
What are you doing with Persia, Boston? Why is this guy in your roster right now? Why are you saying nothing about why Persia is playing over Aim God? Let's take a look at some Persia versus Aim God stats. I know we brought this up the other day. Out of 29 players who have played Zenyatta, Persia, you are in the bottom 3 in every single statistical category. Now, part of this is because, you have to caveat it, they have lost every match so far in Stage 3.
Correct.
So you are going to have terrible stats under those circumstances. But do they need to be this bad? I don't think so. And they've also been fiddling around with who's playing the Zarya on this roster. Clearly, they're trying to retool some things. But you got to say something about this. I mean, Boston fans, I think you guys deserve to know what's going on with Aim God and Persia. So let's start talking here, Boston, about what's going on with your roster.
When you look at the match in total, I think something always interesting when you see the Paris games is whether or not they're playing on their home turf. They don't actually get an opportunity to here, but I think the map pool is still kind of interesting because it allows for a bunch of DPS heroes to be played. And for the Boston Uprising right now, because nothing is going well, I've actually liked to see Persia on the Ana facilitating more DPS matchups. And I think unleashing Color Hex and Blase have been the only few times when Boston Uprising has looked decent. Seeing Blase on either the Junkrat or the Doomfist,
the Doomfist.
Color Hex on the Pharah, the Widowmaker, the Genji, these are all great picks. And Paris have got some decent DPS players themselves. More so for my own entertainment, I want this to be a DPS matchup because both of these teams are tragically awful at GOATs.
Bring back the Cruise Genji. That's what I gotta say.
To be fair, they have been recently playing more of the Sombra and Doomfist. That's what we saw in their last match.
Yes, yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's reasonable.
Hackfist all day. That's what we all want to see here on Watchpoint. It's time to check out, though, the best moments from our week 3 of action in Stage 3. It's State Farm's Emote Control. And here we are with the first one. You guys ready? Shanghai's Ding had big plans for this EMP on Eichenwald before the Valiant's Kareev puts him down for a little nap. The reaction time and precision of this sweep dart is just disgusting. Always known for flexing, Kareev showing off what he can do on Ana. What's the emote, boys?
There you go.
I'm getting angry about this one.
Why?
I thought the Shanghai Dragons were going to complete this run of making themselves seem fantastic, and Ding gets slept. I was angry when I watched that. Kareev was too good.
I mean, it was a great sleep art, but Ding, you had one job, man. You had one job. You just had to EMP. Just wait a little bit too long. Give him a little bit too much opportunity.
I mean, these guys are focusing on the negative, but I've got leering sideshow because it was such a sexy play.
Here's a look at IM37 trying to go into stealth mode against the charge on Hollywood, but Happy wasn't having it. He throws the Graviton Surge on the invisible Sombra.
It's almost
in
the same
Sideshow's
play.
words, you hate to see it if you're the Defiant.
How does that happen?
I saw that play. I thought he was actually not invisible at that time.
I think Happy was trying to
detected.
grab the rest of the team and just accidentally hit him in the head.
Sometimes you're playing so many, you have bad luck. I don't know. That's just like,
I like the baby babe pog right there. Why is celebrating so hard in the Overwatch League? Seriously, guys, get these claps down. Get the fist bumps down. Marvel goes for the high five with Munchkin. Then thinks better of it. 10 hours of practice a day, and you guys still can't land this? Show me the emotes, boys.
I'm gonna give that guy a hug. I'm gonna take him out for a night on the town. We're gonna do Bren Shui with this one. I'm gonna help Marvel recover from that one. He needs a friend.
I don't know if that will improve their coordination.
I don't think so, but that wasn't
It can't get worse.
I just wanted to use this.
Coordination.
I just wanted to use this.
He just gave up on it.
Backfiction has made a huge impact for the Valiant in Stage 3. The LA main tank goes off here for a huge shatter and a 5K on Nepal against the Dragon. Sorry, Josh, your pick was wrong. It's tough to argue with the Valiant are definitely trending upwards, and the Fate trade is working out for them.
Yeah, what can you say apart from Baby Pog?
Baby Pog.
I don't know.
You went with a potato?
Excited sideshow fit. What's this one called?
It's like Sideshow Champ.
Potato.
We now call it the Sideshow Potato.
The Champ.
I picked this one.
We've seen this one a bunch this week, but we just couldn't help but watch it one more time. It's BQB going for a swim on Volskaya. Come on! My nephew doesn't even make this mistake, BQB. What happened here?
You got bumped by the wrecking ball. I don't know. That's a big LOL for me, or LUL, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's going to be looking at this being like, production, really? You're running this 17 times this week?
There we have it. There we have it. We are less than 10 minutes away from our match of the week. It's going down once again between Chengdu and the Dallas Fuel. The players are getting set to take the stage, and we've got our predictions coming up right here on the Watchpoint Pre-Show, presented by State Farm. Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League. here are your analyst predictions for our final day of week 3. And this first time, we get to see all 3 of you guys on the desk together. And unfortunately, you all have the same opinions across the board.
Yep.
Chengdu over Dallas. You got Paris over Boston. Houston over Florida, and everyone is on the Vancouver train today. But I gotta ask you guys, let's talk about that matchup. You've been hyping up the Valiant. What are the chances they don't get slammed by Bumper's hammer? Starting with you, Josh.
I think there's about a 30% chance that this goes the way of the Valiant. I think 1 out of 3 times, this is a real decent chance of an upset.
1 out of 3 times. Doa, what about you?
I'm calling it 0%, man. Nobody beats the Titans. We've seen this, right? It's how it works.
There's literally no chance it could happen in Doa's world. I'm going to go up even a little higher than Sideshow.
Wrong.
Do 35%.
35% for Monty.
Shame.
It could happen. Probably not. We'll find out a little bit later. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you for the matches after this.